Hello, everyone. You're so much welcome. For the past few days, we've not rested. Till a few minutes ago, when a petition surfaced online on how Tuface'S family petitioned the IGP to summon Madam Ni Idibia, that's Natasha Osauru, Honorable Natasha Osauru, a member of the State House of Assembly in Edo State. Hello, everyone. You're so much welcome. Good to have you here. On our very quick night podcast today, we just want to quickly talk about Natasha and the love of her life, Tuface. And we are going to come from different angles, but today we are zooming in on how Natasha is Tuface's karma. I don't know, maybe one or two people will want to argue against this, which is fine and good. However, from the angle we want to describe it, let's wait and see. Now, Tuface is a man that is blessed, is handsome, is tall. I don't know how tall he is, but he looks tall from the screen. And is cool, is calm, is collected. He's a man that doesn't like drama. In fact, Tuface is one legend that we rarely find him dragging any other person. Yes, the only person that has dragged him before was, is it one of those plantation boys? Is it Black Phase or Phase? That one is always claiming that Tuface used the song to blow and did not accord him the credit and everything. And Tuface rarely responded, So he's not somebody that likes to fight. He's not somebody that likes to have issues with people. And people know him, attest to the fact that he's extremely humble. That Tuface can greet a baby, taking a bow and everything. So all these attributes makes me darling of whoever his mind attached to. Let's take an example. Annie and Tuface started their lovey-dovey from... Let's even start from the very, very start. For people who don't know who Tuface is. Tuface was a very young adult and, he started singing in Festac Town. For those who know Festac Town very well, many years ago, before year 2000, you live in that neighborhood, of course, you know who Tuface is. It's one of the best things that came out of Festac. And everything. So his love for music, streets, songs, music and everything started from that hood of Festac. And he didn't stop there. His passion, his determination to be somebody was brought to fore with his gift of singing. Tuface is not a graduate. I think he finished secondary school. I'm not very sure. But he's not a graduate. He didn't attend a higher institution. But from the very young age of, let's say, 20, 21, it was all about his music. The thing just, they worry him. You know how it is when you're talented with something and you're finding a medium of expression. You just be restless, looking for, a way out and all of that. In which we can give kudos to him, But we really, really, then he started his group, Plantation Boys, with Blackface and Tuface, And on the other side, we had Remedies. That's the Idris Abdul Karim. We had, who was that again? Tony Tetwila and one other man like that. So those two groups of Remedies and Black Plantation Boys were the reigning kings at that time. When you say the OGs of the OGs, the legend who worked their butts off for the current music industry that is being enjoyed now, we give it to Plantation Boys and Remedies. They gave us good vibes, danceable vibes, clean, smooth, with decent lyrics, and everything. And every party, then every corner, you're either hearing Remedies music or you're hearing Plantation Boys. It's also beautiful. And they went to play. Plantation Boys went to play at one of the, I think, is it Miss Nigeria or Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria pageant that year. And that pageant was won by a beautiful lady called B1T Shola. I'm sure if you're a millennial and you follow the Amebo space or the New Space or the City People, National Encomium, Fame, at that time, you will be nodding your head in agreement with this old OGGs that I'm giving now. So for Gen Z, you're hearing it here. So it was a beautiful pageant competition, and B1T Shola won. B1T Shola was one beautiful damsel, dark-skinned beauty queen we had at that time. She won, everybody was happy, and Plantation Boys played. And you know, when you play at the beauty pageant, of course, you will serenade the winner and everything. But before we could say Jack Robinson, we heard, or the news tweeted, that the most beautiful girl, Venteshola, was dating Tuface Idibia. Now, I think they've had a relationship before that day of the competition. But it was from that place that everybody, we are Proco people, we started hearing. And according to reports, Vian was living well, you know. I think Vian was a bit older than him, maybe a year or two, you know, but age range. Then Vian took Tuface in, or he spends time at her place, you know, but it was a constant feature in her home at that time. She wasn't married, she was a single lady. But she was a very, very decent Miss Nigeria. Very, very decent one. So we heard that they were dating. People were like, oh, lovely couple. Oh, Vian. Oh, Tuface. Oh, the very handsome guy and beautiful, most beautiful girl in Nigeria. See, please, I stand to be corrected. I don't know. I'll check later if Vian won Miss Nigeria or most beautiful girl, but it's one of these two very popular pageants years ago. So, but you know, Vian was a decent lady too. She didn't bring the thing out and everything. But they were dating, and of course, with her winning the pageant, she had the car, the connection was there, and she's not even supposed to reveal that she was dating anybody, because when you win a pageant like that, one of the things they will tell you is that you automatically almost put your life on pause. You don't come out to claim that you're dating somebody because they don't want that distraction. So whoever it is you're dating at that time, better keep it in your house or keep it in your wardrobe. Don't bring it out so that you can face your reign. After 1 year, you continue with your life. Okay, so it is in the midst of this that allegedly, they said Tuface met Annie Idibia. Annie was a young girl who just finished from one secondary school around VI at that time. And, you know, energetic. Annie has always been energetic, very cute. You can imagine, she's beautiful now. You can imagine how beautiful she was years ago. And Annie and Tuface met. And from the day they met, it was love, as in, I like this cute lady. Oh, I like this handsome guy. Though Tuface was still struggling at that time, but he was making money gradually, you know, that kind of thing. And they fell in love. And Vian got to find out, according to Aproko, that Vian, the most beautiful girl in Nigeria, got to find out that, how can you be cheating on me? Me, the most beautiful girl in Nigeria. You're now dating the young girl who just rounded up her secondary school education at that time. So Vian didn't take it lightly to be like, I've been faithful to you. I've, you know, kept my own part of the relationship. You now decide to go and carry one small girl and dating her and everything. So that caused a break in their relationship. And people that knew said Vian was utterly broken. That Vian had a very terrible heartbreak at that time to be like, what else does a man want? I gave you everything. I have big men, big boys that are after me. I didn't blink. Now, you know, so you decided to now, tell our big girl, you know, in quotes. I'm just analyzing. You know, that kind of thing. So the girl waka. Because at first she can't even say that she's dating Tuface because of her pageant crown which she did carry for 1 year. So life went on, and Tuface deeply fell in love with Annie Macaulay as well. Annie was always there. For those who knew them in First Act Town, in the studio they had there, whenever they're having their rehearsals or everything, now Annie go out, go also food. Where all the people, you know how these studio people are? When they have a lot of studio rats and some upcoming artists that'll be hanging around, now Annie go fetch food. Give everybody. She gave everything. She just wanted Tuface to be fine. That was the love of her life. That was the man she knew. The only man that she gave herself to and everything, you know. But one thing was sure. From that point, Tuface joined Kenny's music. Tuface joined Kenny music of D1 and Keke. That's Zayadene and Kenny Ogungwe. That was when AIT was really raining and everything. So they signed on Tuface, and from there, his career just took off. His career just boomed. It was the best thing after sliced bread. They would play Tuface's music on AIT jams, lunch break on AIT. I know the OGs are remembering what I'm talking about. So, as the fame rose, so also the women. Hey. Tuface became like our own mini Michael Jackson at that time. And girls would flaunt themselves at him, that kind of thing. This single guy and everything. Then he recorded African Queen, yes, with Annie being the available model. She's a beautiful woman. He was in love with her, and they paired up with Yvonne Jekede, who celebrated 20 years on stage last 2 weeks, and it still remains a hit. That African Queen song is an evergreen, a song that can never go out of circulation. So when they shot the video, it was beautiful, like, oh, love. So everybody knows Annie as the African Queen because that was the woman he was professing to. You can go and watch the African Queen video on YouTube. Then you see how Tuface was very young and Annie too was very young. That's over 20 years ago. Yes, if I'm correct, around that time. So, yeah, before we knew it, Tuface started having other women. We heard of Pero, who came to his life. We've just talked about B1T. Hello to our friends who are just joining. You're so much welcome. We are backdating the Aproko gist on Tuface when he started his career, where he dated the ex-beauty queen, B1T, broke her heart, allegedly. And then he fell in love with Annie Dibia, the African Queen. Then he fell in love with Pero. Pero Adeni. Pero is the daughter of a renowned family in Lagos. I think her father is from Ekiti or Ondo State, but they are domiciled in Lagos and they are very wealthy. Her father was into sales of cars and other businesses. Somo Bottini Pero. No one left. But she was married at that time. According to the story, she was married and based in Abuja. That I think they even said she had one child before for her husband. Is it not two in Abuja? But I think she had a very bad marriage at that time. Then she met and fell in love with Mr. Tuface. And that was when the love started. And one thing is, when Tuface is into you, he go to do like swagbe. But the problem is, he's not a committed lover. It's not. Let's keep going. Then we'll get to that part. So what's in Pero? They were having fun, enjoying themselves. Pero left her husband's house because she was married then, and started dating Tuface openly, and all of that. And people were like, where is the African Queen? What is going on? Uncle, you don't forget African Queen Igbo Lenny. What is going on? What's in the shell? All those things were going on. Pero had the baby for him. And also Sumbo Adeoye. What was her maiden name then? Her husband's name now is Adeoye, but I can't remember her maiden name. Her name was Sumbosha. It's Sumbo Agaba or something. So Sumbo also came into the picture. Sumbo got pregnant, had 2 boys. In fact, Sumbo lived a bit with Tuface. If you go on Google and say Sumbo, Tuface and his ex, Sumbo, you see a picture on one of their sons' naming ceremony. They wore the same attire. So Sumbo said she lived with him, but even at that time, I born, Pero born. I born, Pero born. So what exactly is going on? So Sumbo had 2 children for Tuface. Pero also had two children for Tuface at that time. Then again, when Sumbo said she just saw that this guy is mine, no even did this. It wasn't a marriage. He wasn't married to her. That one day she now called him and said, Baba Tuface, come. Do you really love me? Do you think having 2 children for you living with you is heading anywhere? Say, Baba no fi answer. Naipero said she didn't need anybody to tell her, say she just waste her time. She tearfully carried her bag waka from Tuface's house and went back to her parents' house. You can check this particular news on Google. You will still see the picture, the interview. This particular one, Sumbo did that interview with city people that year. She didn't abuse Tuface. She didn't drag him. She just, expressed herself that she had to move on. And she did. And thank God for her life, she was a banker, a banker who was successful at it. And she was also into interior decoration kind of thing at that time. Her business was booming. So she stayed in her mama house with her 2 sons and faced her life squarely and became a church woman. Now, for inside church, praying to God, doing the work of God, Pastor Adeoye, very calm, responsible pastor, lost his wife, the mommy of the church. And after a while, zoom his eyes on Sumbo to be like, well, baby, mo fe fe ni. Sumbo was like, after I've had 2 sons, so yeah, it's you I want. Now, how God just butter Sumbo bread like that. I don't think Pastor Adeoye's wife had a child. I think they were childless. at that time when the wife passed away. Then he now married. So Sumbo was a single mother of 2 Tuface'S 2 sons when she got married to Pastor Adeoye. You see how God no dey forget person. Until date, Sumbo is enjoying her marriage. Sumbo doesn't even look like a woman who has had adult son. She's been pampered by her husband, and to God be the glory, though she had a delay when she got married to Pastor Adeoye in childbirth, but now God has answered her prayers. I think she has 1 or 2 for the pastor, and they are doing beautifully well. So, when Pero had 2, so had 2. Tuface now went back to Pero. And Pero again got pregnant for child number 3 for Tuface. And when she got pregnant for Tuface, I think she was hoping at that time to be like, Mr. Man, this is the 3rd belly. Let us do this marriage. What else are we waiting for? This is my 3rd pregnancy for you. If you know you're not going to marry me, those kind of discussions that Tuface is always running away from accountability. If you're a Tuface's blind lover and you don't want to hear us saying the truth about him here, you can please scroll low. Because it is this encouragement of bad behavior now it can cause international disgrace for our legend now. Either you're a man or a woman, you don't take accountability for your actions as an adult. Now international disgrace you go face. Now waiting you sow, you go reap. That is the whole essence of this video. Okay. So when Pero was trying to get Tuface accountable to be like, I'm not pregnant with your 3rd child. Oh boy, let's do wedding. Let's get this thing over with. Tuface was not ready. And he was having a little quanta with Annie at that time. Now he jump go meet Annie. Annie at some point has started dating somebody else. She didn't get pregnant for Tuface at all. She was dating somebody else at that time, but they said Tuface had go collect Annie back, propose to her. And they went to do a destination wedding in Dubai. In fact, Tuface and Annie are one of the first group of Nigerians that started all this destination wedding of going to Dubai to do wedding. It was a beautiful wedding, She was happy because Annie has always loved Tuface. So, it was a few months after Annie's wedding to Tuface that Pero put to bed a baby. I think she had a baby girl. So she has, I think, 2 boys and 1 girl for Tuface. They said when Pero heard about Tuface and Annie's wedding, that she almost passed out. That you can imagine the heartbreak, be like, I born first one for you, I born second one for you. This 3rd one, where they asked you, say me we get married. You now go marry another woman in Dubai. And she was carrying the 3rd pregnancy. Hey! Without wasting time, Pero just moved to America. Had a baby. They said, if not for the support of her very, very supportive mother, Ha! If for no easy. If for no easy. So, Pero put to bed a baby girl, was quiet with her life, raising her 3 children, plus I think the one where she don't get for her husband's house before, if I'm correct. Then Annie got pregnant and had her first baby. So Annie's child is Tuface's 6th child. Should I take that again? Pero in total had 3. Sumbo had 2. So those 5 I just mentioned came before Annie's own. So Annie's Idibia's first child for Tuface is his 6th child. So Annie got into marital life. She was also acting. I forgot to say this. Annie got into some of these programs at that time. I can't remember. There was one housemate kind of thing program at that time. She was in for it. She really did well. People were like, Tuface's babes and everything. And she was acting as well. So she was making money. She was also chasing her own limelight as an actress. Though the argument is that Annie is not like a fantastic actress. But because of Tuface's influence, she started to appear and she was building herself gradually. So they were growing. We saw adverts that they did, was it with Pepsi or Coca-Cola, where all the children, except Pero's children. So Annie's 2 children and this woman, Sumbo's children, did the adverts of Pepsi or Coke. One of these conglomerates at that time, it was beautiful to see that, that's a good blended family. We'll be hearing Kurukere here and there. What shall manage around? The children were growing, but never really opened up or received any like that. Though there was a point that there was one video circulating online. They all met at a club, and Annie, Tuface was crying, and Annie hugged themselves. Very fair, so Sumbo has moved on with her life. Pero was raising her children. Annie was facing the fire and the brimstone. When they had the young, famous and Kinikan right in front of Annie, Tuface said that a man cannot hold body and a man cannot stay with one woman. What if a man travel? How you go do him? All this kind of irresponsible, tactless, dirty talks. That, okay, a man can say, on catch cruise with your friends, but in the presence of your wife, on a program, a global program, he will say it and Annie's face will change. We'll be like, you marriage agbako wolele. Even if your man is irresponsible, must he be rubbing it in your face on a program? They did a revisit about the share reunion of remarriage 2 years ago that they profess love. You can check on YouTube. They're professing love for each other. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for this. And you could see that when Annie was stating her vow, she was saying it from her heart that I will open chapters with you again. She was almost crying. Ọ̀rọ̀ ìfẹ́ bí adánwò. What I mean is that Yoruba will say ọ̀rọ̀ ìfẹ́ bí adánwò means that when you're in love, you just become very stupid most of the time. Except you are the kind of person that can easily grab herself or himself. Annie was losing herself. And after COVID, there was an outburst she had. She released voice notes online that Tuface has gone to meet Pero. His brothers are the one plan. Annie, ṣé kò sí? Kí ló já ẹ jẹ? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? That she's going to buy herself. How can Tuface go and meet Pero? He went to America to meet Pero. His brothers are backing him up. He is like, ọmọbìnrin, you better don't go and buy. Uncle Tuface, where you dey? People were now trying to drag Pero. Pero said, I don't have time for you. Go and face your marital life. I don't have time for you. Àṣé Pero ti marry ìgbà yẹn. Pero is married to a very handsome guy now. Mature man. And they opened a lounge somewhere in Lagos, I think last year. And the lounge is really doing very, very well. Like I told you, Pero is also from a very comfortable family. So, before we knew, Sha knew that Annie was just wasting her time. No people Two-Face was facing. But even said he hadn't seen Two-Face in years before that time and everything. Anyways, before this one now can happen, wait, Two-Face just told us sometime this year that he and Annie no day again. This and this. They say no be him post am. You come back and say that me talk am. Kilo shele say boy to that be ento today mo no agolo. Before we could say Jack Robinson, Madam Natasha show face say okay, ọmọ Esama ló ń fẹ́, it's okay. And before we know it, Natasha became Madam Gombody. In fact, the videos going around just shows, I don't even know what to write, but right now, Two-Face family has released a statement today, the press release today, petitioning Natasha, make he stop giving their pikin substance. Say he don't seize Two-Face's passports. Say he's always gbasgbos Two-Face. We make IGP, Inspector General Police, help them. Oh. Now he comments complaint. He say, how would anybody help a 50-year-old man? Two-Face is 50 for crying out loud. Two-Face is not himself. Even yesterday, he posted something on his Insta story, help me. Hours later, he came out to do a video saying, Natasha is at risk. Everybody should cease fire. We shouldn't do that. Please, my loved ones, my fans, my critical, cease fire. Ṣé inú wall ló wà nítorí kan cease fire? Ìwọ gan ló wà nínú fire. Ìwọ máa ní kí ló ń ṣe ẹ́? Tó ń ṣe rọ́ndọ̀rọ̀ndọ̀n. Annie almost lost us. As in, I think that lady lost herself totally. Thank God that she's one woman who had good friends. Specifically, we mentioned Tiwa Savage and Toke Makinwa, who stood their ground for her and took her to rehab, allegedly. Because we all have our moments of breaking down. And the people that surround us at that time really matter. Right now, as we talk, as Two-Face, they do gbasgbos. Annie day abroad. She went on vacation with her 2 lovely children and her mother, enjoying the best time of her life. While Uncle Two-Face, she was go. She go Sprite in the mobe. And according to Gistova reports, when all this katakata started, Gistova said Two-Face is not feeling well, that he has kidney issues. Don't battle pelu. Now, in all of this, Sumbo Oda Kushefe, Bero Oda Kushefe, Annie Oda Kushefe, Natasha to Tufe, no, they got married in July. No, is it July? No, they got married in, was it July or October? July, between July. We started knowing about them May, June, right? She has a baby that is just 1 month old. Couldn't see me. So now, do we mean that those 4 women are not good? You're entitled to your opinion, but the truth of the matter is Two-Face is the common denominator in all of this. When a man doesn't have control over his third leg, it will bring him international disgrace. When a man is disciplined and he has self-control over his third leg, in fact, let's say 70% of his life problem has been solved. Even as a woman, if you don't have control over your body and your drive, it can bring disgrace. How are we going to tell a 50-year-old man to take accountability for his action? Now, the person where he don't marry now, whether they like it or not, Natasha don't born for Two-Face. Two-Face don't marry Natasha. She's a Mrs. Edibia. The pikin where they born after traditional marriage. Though people are alleging that him and Annie never conclude their divorce proceeding. That the Freeze did the show, people are dragging that the Freeze that he should have cut off Two-Face there when Two-Face was talking. The wife come and basa for his face. Edo State House of Assembly don't summon Madam Natasha to come within the next 7 days to come and explain why she keeps disgracing them. So you see that the situation has become messy, and that's why Uncle Two-Face come out to say Natasha is at risk because he knows that they can She can face whatever for what has happened. Now, for a lot of men in Africa and in Nigeria, they get away with a lot of irresponsibility and lack of accountability. But these days, karma is so swift and fast that it doesn't wait time. No time to waste. And these days, women, some women with that. Some women know they don't. Some women love their hearts. They guide their hearts when they see so much really broke by. Want to be body one. But because of my fish sample nonsense. While some women will larry more, it go better. Kórè wọn máa yí báyìí, it go better. Kí gbogbo wọn máa tán, it go better. Kó máa bú wọn títì, it go better. Obìnrin mi máa di kòròfo. Àbí kẹ́lòmíì gan kó jẹ́ pé cups ẹ̀ làwọn òbí ẹ̀ máa wá gbé nílé ọkọ ẹ̀. The choice is an individual choice. As long as you're an adult, anybody you marry or you date, you are responsible for the consequences of your action. Everybody goes into a marriage or relationship to be happy, to have a happy relationship or marriage. But this life is either something works or something does not work. And if you keep pretending to people that everything is fine, everything is all right, now you sabi o. Now you go drink your tea, lelegbe. So, rightfully said, Natasha is Tuface'S karma. And that's why he's now helpless. His family are crying to the IGP to please petition Natasha. And Natasha, as she did so, you think so she could let that man go with just a 1-month-old baby? A lot of people have been running comments on this, and everybody's point is valid. Everybody's point. Some people are even saying Tuface, the way you left Annie was so cruel and harsh, and it shows that you were not in your right senses. That's not how to leave a woman who was with you when the whole world was. There was a point very early in Tuface's career, they were making fun of him now. Àwọn comedians Tuface àwọn fi play ball ngba yẹn. Tuface na sharpshooter. Father of plenty nations. Right now, Tuface has 8 children. 8 children who are still in school. None of them is married, but they're adults. One of the ex-manager even said that there was a time they got to London for a show, and the promoter just gave Tuface £3,000 to say, "Okay, just take this one, oh body. You should just have it as in just cash." And Tuface said, "You don't worry, don't give me. Just send £1,000 to my son Nino in Abuja to sort his school things, and give the remaining £2,000 to Madam Natasha." Now Natasha started shouting like told where they pop hot water for airports. That no, all the £3,000 should be given to her. How dare he say? Then Tuface said, "Please, so that there won't be problem. I give everything back to her." There are a lot of times that even transactions, financial transaction of Tuface, she's the one receiving it, she's the one that has the same. Tuface, make your mama go pray the prayer where Abiyamo dey pray. Because there's something called karma. You see all these women I've been mentioning since. You see their tears, you see the disgrace they've had. Bearing your children alone, carrying the cross of single motherhood, you not taking accountability. You know what their own parents too went through. In this Africa especially, you have a female child that was following a musician, Oloyun Kini, Oloyun Keji, Ofoju Ebo, Kofemo. And the girl had to return to her parents' house. Do you know the kind of embarrassment that lady and her family too has gone through? When they cry their tears, being the single mother of your children. But God has done them well. Both of them, Pero and Sumbo, are happily married to handsome, responsible men. Now you are still going around with your uncontrolled bola, causing havoc for yourself. Your mother should go and pray the prayer. You know, she came out the last time begging Nigerians that they should please, Natasha, that you're just going working on your divorce, so that you're not in your right senses, so that Natasha should remove the bead where you put for your wrist and your neck. Before we could say Jack Robinson, with some of my shining teeth. in a video with you guys and also on your wedding day to her. So if Mama is going to come out again now, we do not know. But honestly, men, you can do better. A lot. In fact, Nigerian women are women that some would rather buy in the marriage than leave. They will do everything. They will work. They will labor. They will sacrifice. They will pray. They will fast. Some women cannot even remember the last time they prayed for themselves. Oh, my husband. God, let my husband be rich. Let my husband get this contract. Now women have started becoming selfish. They will finish their own prayer first before they remember you. Especially if you're a man that do not treat them right. But there's nothing wrong for a woman to pray from her heart for her husband. But what reward does that kind of woman get? Embarrassment, abandonment, disgrace. The pray, and you say you will go scot-free. To go scot-free, you have to face God. Oh. Mama Two-Face, make you go look for your jar. Tie him again and pray. He's your son. He's your son. He's a good son to you. But to the women in his life, has he been a good husband, a good man to them? So now he can't enter the one where be say, hey, and that family where you go marry, hey, ho, ho, they know they take nonsense. That family that Two-Face has married from now, they take no nonsense. They take no BS from anybody. So, ori ye akwe yo, ori babe akwe yo Two-Face. Let your mother pray for you. Let your mother pray for you. But honestly, for all you've done for the women that we've known you with, this is karma ringing at your door. It's just grace of God that can rescue you. If a 50-year-old man can be this helpless, this means you're writing helping me on your official page, Instagram story on Instagram. The next minute you're coming out to do video, you're shaking. Natasha is at risk. You people should ceasefire. I fear God, though. Anybody will no fear God now you're in deal. Things they are called. May God not use us to bad example. And God we see everything happening to Two-Face now should just have mercy. That's the only prayer we can pray. God should just have mercy. And his family and his mother should continue with their prayer. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Yay.